She has sold more than 7 million copies of her book around the world, delighting young readers with her award-winning series, Keeper of the Lost Cities. And don't forget the Skyfall series as well.
Yeah, Shannon Messenger went to film school where she learned that she really loved watching movies instead of making them, but then found her passion in writing for children. She just released book number 9.5 in the Keeper of the Lost City series called Unraveled, told from the perspective of fan favorite Keefe Sensen. The movies may be on the way as well. Welcome this morning to Shannon Messenger. She is joining us via Zoom this morning. Shannon, thanks so much for your time.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This will be fun.
All right, so let's talk about this new book and what kind of sets it apart from the rest of the series. Why did you decide you needed this one?
So this one's, I mean, the 0.5 in the title probably gives it away a little bit. This is definitely a different book. We're switching POVs, and really it just comes down to the series is told through one character's POV, but there's a lot of story with the other characters, and this one character in particular, Keith, he has some big secrets that he's just not quite ready to share, but that it got to a point in the story where we needed to know them. And so the best solution I could come up with was to let us jump into his POV and walk his shoes and kind of watch that unfold so that we'll understand why he's hiding these things, so that when they eventually come out, because secrets tend to come out in the next book, we'll sort of understand why he was hiding all of this for so long.
I love that there's a 0.5. I don't think I've ever had a 0.5 in a book series. This is intriguing to me. But Sophie, obviously your main character, talk about Sophie and Keefe's relationship.
So they are definitely two characters that have had a huge following online that we're shipping them together. They're friends, and I don't want to spoil too much for those who haven't heard the series yet, but what I love about them is that they see each other for who they really are. They are really good at sort of seeing their true selves, at least for each other. They're characters that they have a lot of self-doubt. They have a lot of stuff that they're dealing with, a lot of ways that they feel very manipulated and not in control with their lives. And so they doubt themselves. And yet Sophie is able to see Keefe for who he really is. And Keefe is able to see Sophie for who she really is. And they kind of balance each other that way. And it's always really fun to watch that dynamic kind of play out on the page, to watch them sort of questioning themselves and retreating, and then the other kind of draws them back and is like, no, wait, this is who you really are. I see you. It's really special.
Well, and I love the way you describe that, because I think that is why your books are so incredibly popular. My daughter has read all of them. She is a huge fan. She about died this morning when I'm like, hey, guess who I'm talking to today? Let's talk about how you can tap into that as an author and that theme, because I think that kids can all relate to those feelings, right?
I feel like really the magical trick that I use is just, I really try to treat these characters like they're real people. That is the only touchstone that I have, the only guide that I have. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying my best here as an author. But I really try to treat the characters like real people and really try to just think about them in terms of like everything I know about their past, everything I know about what they're going through, and then kind of let them do what they would do on the page, even if sometimes it ruins all my plans or makes me add a 0.5 book to the series. And so I feel like that's really kind of why readers have latched onto the series so passionately, because they're attached to the characters. They feel like the characters are real to them. And so that's very much what I'm trying to capture for them. My mom, sometimes as I'm talking about the characters, she's like, you know, they're not real, right? And I'm like, no, but they are.
Well, they're real to you, right? I mean, they're real to you. And let's jump right in here. I mean, a lot of authors would love for their work to be turned into something else, into a wonderful film. I mean, it's happened before, Little Wizard with a Scar. So what do you think? How does it feel to have yours being turned into movies?
You know, it's one of those things where for a very long time I was very protective of my film rights, because Hollywood can be an amazing thing or it can destroy books. And so I was just like, oh, I want to hold on to this as long as I can until it really feels like we have the right team. And that's where we're at. It's the rights were sold to Warner Brothers. The producer who's attached to the project, Emma Watts, she is an absolute force to be reckoned with and so passionate about the series. Her daughter is a huge fan. She's read all the books. Like I couldn't ask for a better team to entrust my story to, and to really feel like if we get there, I mean, obviously Hollywood, there's a million hurdles and everything else, but if we get there, this team is so passionate about doing it right instead of just doing it and having it be like, who cares if we don't stay true to it? You know, they really want to capture what readers love about the books. And so it's still, you know, a big thing where it would be like a $300 million budget. So we've got a lot of ducks to get in a row in order to get that final green light, but it's all coming together. It's very exciting. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, well, we are excited for you. That is a huge deal. And then, of course, since this is a 9.5, there's got to be more on the other end. So what's next for Sophie?
Yeah, I'm hard at work on book 10. Now that we have this sort of piece there, it's making writing that book a lot easier for me as a writer. And so I'm still working on it, so I don't have the exact release date yet, but the standard answer I give is, I promise I'm writing as fast as I can so that it will come out as soon as it can, because I realize I left readers on a huge cliffhanger at the end of book 9, and book 9.5 gives them some big answers, but it doesn't answer that cliffhanger. So I'm getting it for you guys, I promise.
Well, we will let you get back to writing.
Let's go.
Yeah. Shannon, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the movie deal, and we can't wait to see what's next. keeperofthelostcities.com. You can just go to shannonmessenger.com, all the socials, all the things. But if you're a fan, you probably don't need to know any of that. You got them already, so.
Looks like something I need to get my daughter into.
I think so. I think she's about time.
8, 9, maybe 10, 11.
Years, yeah.
All right, we'll
yeah.
do it. That's all.